This was the scene Wednesday night from a residence on River Road in St. George. The storm, which struck around 8:30 p.m., caused some power outages, but mainly brought down massive amounts of rain, pea-sized hail, and gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour. Vehicles trying to maneuver the floodwaters had a tough time, and some even stalled out as floodwaters began accumulating on roadways. Authorities decided to close River Road for a brief time. Warnings were put out by area police to stay home off the streets where flash flooding was imminent. The next morning, you could see how floodwaters came down so quickly that many storm drains didn't have the capacity to take it all in.
There's a storm drain right out there, and it got plugged up, and with that, the water just backed up and come right into my house.
City crews and neighbors in the area were left with a muddy mess as water the night before filled their street nearly hip deep.
It comes down off of that mountain right there, as you can see through cul-de-sacs over there, and what these guys are doing to try to get the mud cleaned up, well, that mud came into my house. So,
wow. So you have insurance for this? Is it considered flood?
I have insurance, but they're telling me it's surface water and it's not covered.
Backhoes and street sweepers were busy scraping up the mud and sand that came down off this hillside. Area diversions were clogged with silt as residents worked to prepare for the next storm. The St. George Golf Club was also hit hard by the storm, which left mud and sand on their course and even their duck pond.
The direction it came was kind of from the northwest, we kind of thought it would miss the area, and then when it got just outside of Bloomington Hills, it came right into Bloomington Hills and right on top of the golf course.
The golf club was forced to close the first 9 holes on the south side until further notice.
The back 9 is open for cart paths only. They were able to keep get the mud off the cart paths, and we had less water on the back 9, but the front 9 will remain closed for another day, and then brace for tonight, and hopefully we don't get hit the same way.
We had a chance to play the back 9 only. And despite being wet in some low spots, we were able to play without a problem. We found a lot of balls too.
A lot of balls washed
There were a
up.
lot of balls that were washed up from the storm through the wash, and they were just sitting up high ready for the first group through to take. So we took advantage of that.
The National Weather Service has issued another flash flood watch for Thursday until midnight. More heavy rain and possible thunderstorms are expected in parts of southern Utah. Residents here are hoping they don't have to deal with this again. In St. George, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.